Oh, God. How do I even begin?
Lord have mercy, I don't even know where to start with this. I'm 95 years old and I'm sitting in a care home in Atlanta, Georgia. My 3 children, all successful, all doing real well for themselves. They own their homes, their businesses, their lives. But somehow I ended up here. And the hardest part, I did this to myself. Let me be real with you about something. I'm sitting in this room 207, and it's got beige walls, a single window that looks out onto a parking lot, and it smells like a mixture of bleach and the cafeteria food they serve downstairs. My daughter Angela, she's got a 5-bedroom house in Buckhead with a guest house out back. My son Thomas lives in a beautiful brownstone in Brooklyn with a whole finished basement he doesn't use. And my youngest, Diane, she's got a farmhouse in North Carolina with more space than I could ever need. They all got room for me. They all got the means to help. But here I am, room 207. I put myself here because I didn't know any better. Or maybe I just wasn't brave enough to protect what was mine. I'm going to tell you something, and I need you to really hear me, baby. When you're old like me, and your body's falling apart, but your mind is still sharp. Thank God for that. You start thinking about all the decisions that led you here, and some of those decisions, they haunt you. My husband, Robert, he passed in 1999. Good man. Worked for the post office for 42 years. We had a home in East Atlanta that we bought in 1967 for $12,000. Can you imagine? We poured our hearts into that house, painted it ourselves, fixed the roof together, planted that beautiful magnolia tree in the front yard. When Robert passed, I was devastated. But that house was my anchor. It was paid off. It was mine. And my children started visiting more often after he died. At first I thought it was lovely. They were checking on their mama, making sure I was doing okay. We'd sit in the kitchen, drink sweet tea, and they'd tell me about their lives, their jobs, their own children. But slowly, the conversation shifted. It always shifted to the same thing, the house. Mama, you're 75 now. You shouldn't be doing all that yard work, Angela would say. Mama, keeping up a house this size, that's a lot for you alone, Thomas would add. Mama, wouldn't it be easier if you were closer to one of us? Somewhere you didn't have to worry about maintenance, Diane would chime in. And I listened. Lord, I listened. I was tired. Robert was gone. The house did need work. So when Angela called a family meeting and told me they'd been discussing my future, I thought it was out of love. Angela said, Mama, we want you to sell the house. We'll divide the money so you're secure, and you can move in with me. I've got the space. We'll take care of you. I can still see her face. She reached over and held my hand. She made it sound like she was doing me a favor, like this was the responsible thing to do, the mature thing, the thing a mother should accept gracefully. The house sold for $285,000 in 2004. I gave each of them $92,000, kept $9,000 back for myself, thinking it would be enough for emergencies. Angela said I wouldn't need much because I'd be living with her. Everything would be taken care of. I moved into Angela's guest bedroom that fall. She decorated it real nice. New curtains, a queen bed, my own bathroom. I thought, okay, Martha, this is your life now. You're going to help with the grandkids, cook Sunday dinners, be useful. I lasted 9 months. 9 months before Angela came to me with that look. you know the one, and said, "Mama, I need to talk to you." She said her husband's business was taken off, and they needed the guest bedroom for a home office, that Mark could finally have the space he needed to expand. It was nothing personal. It was just timing. They found me a one-bedroom apartment, $950 a month. The landlord was very nice, Angela said. "You'll have your independence back." Independence. That's what she called it when they were kicking me out. That apartment was on a busy road. I could hear traffic all night. The neighbors argued through paper-thin walls. I was paying nearly $12,000 a year just to exist in that tiny space. My little savings, they evaporated. Month after month, I watched them drain away. Thomas would visit on his birthday. I'd cook his favorite meal and he'd eat and leave. When his car broke down in 2006, he came by with a smile and said, "Mama, I need to borrow $5,000, just until I get on my feet. A year, maybe 2. That was nearly 20 years ago. He's never mentioned it since, not once. Diane sent cards for holidays. Angela visited every other month. But nobody asked if I was scared. Nobody asked if I was lonely or struggling or wondering how I was going to make it to the end of the month. By 2011, I was broke. Completely broke. I remember sitting on that apartment floor, actually sitting on the carpet because I couldn't afford to buy furniture, and I called Angela. I told her I couldn't pay the rent anymore. I said, "Baby, I need help. I don't know what to do." And she said, "I'll never forget this." She said, "Mama, have you thought about assisted living? There are some really nice communities now. The state can help with the costs since you don't have assets. It might actually be better for you." That's when it hit me. That's when I realized what I'd done. I had given away everything, my home, my savings, my security, and now I was a burden, a problem to be solved, a responsibility to be passed off to the state. I've been here at Sunny Gardens since 2012. Ironic name, isn't it? For a place that feels about as warm as a hospital waiting room. The state covers most of it. My Social Security pension covers a little. I've got 3 meals a day, a shared television room where everyone watches shows they don't want to watch, and activities on Tuesdays and Thursdays that nobody goes to. Angela comes every 6 weeks or so. She brings flowers sometimes. She stays for an hour, takes a selfie with me for her Instagram, and then she leaves. Last Christmas, Thomas called instead of visiting. Too busy. Diane sent a fruit basket that sat in my room for 2 weeks before it went bad. But here's what really breaks me, baby. The worst part isn't the loneliness. It's not even the regret about the money, though Lord knows that regret is deep. The worst part is that I taught them this. I taught my children that their mama doesn't matter. I showed them that I exist only to give, to sacrifice, to provide, to set aside my own needs. And when there was nothing left to give, I became invisible. I spent 70 years putting them first. When they wanted piano lessons, I picked up extra cleaning jobs. When they needed college money, I worked double shifts. When they wanted to buy their first houses, I co-signed their loans. I gave up vacations, nice clothes, peace of mind, all of it. Everything I had went to them. And when my husband left me with that house, that beautiful house we built our lives in, I gave it away. Not because I had to, because I didn't know I had a choice, because a good mother doesn't keep things for herself. A good mother sacrifices. But nobody tells you what happens when you sacrifice everything. They don't tell you that your children will grow up expecting it. They don't tell you that love and money get all twisted up together. They don't tell you that the people who benefit from your generosity will eventually resent you for needing anything in return. I should have kept that house. I should have stayed put and made them come to me on my terms. I should have kept enough money to maintain my independence, to hire help when I needed it, to have choices about my own life. Because that's what it comes down to, baby. Power. When you don't have money, when you don't have your own place, when you don't have anything that's just yours, you have no power. And people, even people who love you, even your own children, they treat you different when you've got no power. Last year, I fell in the hallway, hit my head, needed 6 stitches. The nurse called Angela. She said she'd come check on me. Took her 2 weeks. When she finally showed up, she stayed 30 minutes, told me I should be more careful, and then she left. Didn't ask if I was in pain, didn't sit with me, just gone. I lie in this bed sometimes and I think about that house in East Atlanta. I wonder who lives there now. I wonder if they know about that magnolia tree and how it blooms every May with flowers so white they look like snow. I wonder if they kept it or if they cut it down to make room for something new. Probably cut it down. People always do that. They clear away the old to make room for what they want now. That's what happened to me. I got cleared away. So here's what I need you to understand, and I'm asking you to listen, like your life depends on it, because maybe it does. If you've got a home, keep it. If you've got money saved, protect it. If you've got your independence, hold on to it with both hands. Be generous. Yes, absolutely be there for your children. Help them when they need it. Teach them to be good people. But never, I mean never, give away your security. Never make yourself completely dependent on anyone's goodness, because goodness is fragile. It cracks under pressure. Your children might love you. I think mine love me, in whatever way they're capable of loving someone who's become inconvenient. But love is not the same as responsibility. Love doesn't show up when you're sick. Love doesn't keep you from dying alone. Love doesn't pay the bills when you got nothing left. Keep your house if you can. Keep your savings. Keep your ability to say no. Keep your dignity. Because once you give it all away, once you make yourself completely dependent, you'll see the real situation clearly, and it might break your heart into 1,000,000 pieces. I've got maybe a year left, the doctors say. My heart's tired. Everything's tired. And I know I'll probably die in this room, in this bed, with staff I barely know around me. And maybe my children will come to the funeral. Maybe they'll cry a little. Maybe they'll inherit whatever gets left, which is nothing, because I already gave them everything. Don't do what I did. Please, learn from an old woman who gave everything and has nothing. Your children might be wonderful people. They might mean every word when they say they'll always be there for you. People say beautiful things, but when caregiving gets hard, when your needs become inconvenient, when you can't offer them anything anymore, people change. Money changes them. Circumstances change them. Protect yourself while you still can, while your mind is clear and your body still works and you can still make decisions. Because if you wait until you're 95 and sitting in a care home with nothing to your name and nowhere else to go, it will be too late. The decision gets made for you. I wish I could go back. I wish I could tell my younger self, Martha, that house is your security, that money is your power. Use them wisely, but don't give them away thinking it will buy you love or gratitude or a comfortable old age. It won't. If even one person hears this story and thinks twice before giving everything away, then maybe this has been worth something. Maybe my pain can prevent someone else's. I'm 95 years old. I'm in a care home. I have no money, no home, and no power. But I still have this voice, and I'm using it to tell you the truth. Don't make my mistakes. Please, thank you for listening to me. Really, truly. Thank you for giving me your time and your attention. That means more to me than you know. If you're listening, I'd like to know, how old are you? Where are you in the world? It would give me some comfort to know that my story traveled somewhere, that it reached someone, that maybe it helped. Take care of yourselves, baby. Love your children, but love yourself more. Until next time.